The question in hand is what is the meaning of AshtaChakra and NavaDvara? These are two Sanskrit terms. Asht means eight. Chakra is actually it means wheel, but in this context, within our human body, it has some sort of a junction point. And Navadvara is nine entrances or nine openings. This question is basically based on a Ved mantra in Atharvaved, which is a 10th kand, 10th book, so to say, and the second section, 10.2.31, 31st mantra. Let me aside the mantra as such, though I am not very good in, recitation, but just to convey the meaning. Ashtachakra Navadvara Devanam Purayodhya Tasyam Henyaya Kosha Swargo Jyotisha. Whenever I see it, it is so fantastic. Let's take the word by word. Ashtachakra means eight wheels are there, but I won't translate it as wheels. It's more like certain critical junction points, and I think they correlate with the glands that we have, like thyroid, pituitary, and pancreas. These are certain glands which are secreting certain fluids and certain hormones, and they have to work at a very superfine level to keep the body system in a homeostasis, in some sort of equilibrium, is it not? If there is slight, amount of insulin is slightly more or less, things go haywire. So this is, we are being told that we live in a township. The word is pur, and that's why we are called as purush. Purush is me. I live in a pur is a space where I live in. So here it is described, not that this whole body fame is like Ayodhya Puji. The word has been switched. Rather than saying Ayodhya Puji, it has been said Puro Yodhya. So I live in a body frame that has been characterized as Ayodhya Puji. Ayodhya now is, there is a small town in India, in Indian state of Uttar Pradesh, that is called Ayodhya. That was the capital of King Dasharath, and then his son, oldest son Ram, became the emperor there. So Ayodhya is name of that. But the word is interesting. Ayodhya. Is a prefix for negation, like symmetry and asymmetry. And nowadays, because of the pandemic, there is a word symptomatic, then asymptomatic. So when you put a in English also, it has the same meaning more or less. So Ayodhya is for negation. Yodhya means it comes from Yuddha. Yuddha is battle. So if you are victorious in a battle, that is, uh, suppose there is a battle and you are victorious, then you have occupied the castle of the opponent, is it not? That is, once you have occupied the castle of the opponent, that is the victory sign, and that is called Yodhya, is it not? Now, Ayodhya means, so I live in a particular castle which can never be won over. No opponent can ever win over it, in the sense he can at most get rid of me, throw me out of my castle, but he cannot occupy it. I hope you get the meaning. So we are being told that I live in such a safe environment which I am occupying, and this whole system is called Ayodhya Puji, and I am being assured that nobody ever can, even if he dislodges you from your castle, he cannot occupy it. you know
Mhm.
that is why this is called Ayodhya Puji. And then there are 8 AshtaChakra. That that is something like, as if that superior force of Ishwar, he says, I keep working at those chakras so that your system is always in a state of equilibrium, Ashta. But you have to be careful about the 9 entrance points. So 9 are, of course, the 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 2 nostrils, mouth, and 2 points of excretion. So what goes into the system, or what goes into the castle through the various doors, gates, that you have to be very, I should be concerned what I am seeing. I should be concerned what I am hearing. Is it all positive or not? I should be concerned what I am, the kind of air I am breathing. I should be concerned what I am eating and drinking, and so on and so forth. So that is the significance of AshtaChakra, NavaDvara, and there is a very important word, Devanam. So he's saying the body frame that I have given to you is the same that is given to very noble, high order people who are called Devata. It's not that they get a different body frame, they get the same that you have been given, is it not? So it's kind of a assurance that yes, that we are, uh, you know, we are not deprived of anything. We have the highest quality of the body frame that we can have, you know, and nothing that somebody is favored with a different powers in his body and I am less. No, nothing like that. Now the second part of it, tasyam hiranyaya kosha. Tasyam is within that. So within that, there is a course, is a kind of a cave, and Hiranya means gold, which gold here doesn't mean gold. What here means is shining. Just imagine there is a lustrous thing, something that shines greatly. So, like at this point, my hand is waving, is it not? And anybody can see from a distance, I am conscious. And suppose next moment I die, then I just collapse, I just fall apart, is it not? Then I am unable to wave my hands. So the whole beauty of a living human being is his consciousness that makes the difference between life and death, you know, and that is shining in a very tiny cave that we are being told is Hiranyaya Kosha. So that is where I live. That is somewhere in my skull. And because that is shining, I am living being. Your son, your daughter, your spouse, you love to see them, isn't it? Because they are conscious. And just imagine, God forbid, but somebody is a dead body. What is it? Then you have to worry about how to dispose of the body, is it not? So just imagine the contrast between a living body and a dead body. And that whole contrast is because of that occupant in that Hiranyaya kosha. So he's telling us tasyam, within that there is a Hiranyaya kosha and swargo. The word swarg is very interesting. It's a compound word. Swa plus ga, is it not? Ga is for gaman, going, and gaman is also for prapti, what is called, because when you reach a destination, you obtain somebody, you obtain something, is it not? So ga is to acquire something. What is it? Swa is sukh swarup, Paramatma is bhu bhuva swa. So you may be seeing all this beautiful world, but that maker of the world is right in also in that Hiranyaya kosha. And if you care to meet him, you know, that's what meditation, upasana is all about. Otherwise, we are, through these 9 entrance points, we are getting all the things, getting to know about the world. But when I want to meet the maker of the world, I have to switch all these gates off, I have to shut them all off, you know, and then I have to go nowhere where I am residing, that's where he is also available. So I have to disconnect this. But when I meet him, all the AshtaChakra, all my five pran, all they are functioning, because they are because of his force, and that is what. And Jyotisha Veta, then, that Jyoti, you know, that is what is Suyo Jyoti, Jyoti Swa. Everywhere is that Jyoti. And I meet him there in that Hiranyaya Kosha. So just see, total 8 or 10 words. But what is this message? That I have sent you in this world in a very right kind of body frame. And if you care to use it properly, that is what the objective of your life is, to meet me in that. And I am never far away from you. You just have to close all the anti points and even go withdraw your consciousness inward and meet me there. And if you meet me there, you will see me everywhere. Jyotisha Veta, is it not? If I capture him here, my vision changes, then I don't see the world. Everything in the world reminds me of him, is it not? Just like for a good child, everything in his home tells him something about his mother. She has placed everything at the right place, is it not? So you see so many things in a child, everything in the world, in his small home, but everything has a touch of mother. So that's the feeling. Very good. So it was very good mantra, and thank you very much. Now the next question we have is, we have been covering the episode. I have been bringing two factors at a time. What led to our wonderful Satya Sanatan Vedic Dharma, you know, degrade to uh, Hinduism religion? It hasn't degraded. Some people think when anybody says, I am subscribing to Hindu religion, for him it has a degraded. Satya Sanatan Dharma doesn't undergo any change, is it not? Because Sanatan, it's eternal principles. It has no date of birth, and if something has no date of birth, there will never be a death. Unlike other religions, they have a date of birth. So anything that is born has to die one day, is it not? So Satya Sanatan Vedic Dharma is eternal universal principles, but it's unfortunate. Some people have picked up certain ideas and they have confined themselves to a confine of a religion. So I have in mind to bring two factors. We have been doing it two factors at a time. So in this episode, I am talking about the parameter of time. So number one is, I will say, as such, time is inert, but people begin to think that certain time frame is bad, say Kali Yuga, though it is just a name for a certain time period, is it not? So I hope you follow me what I'm saying, because you hear very often from people saying, no, this is Kali Yuga, we cannot expect better times, is it not? As if they mean to say that Kali Yuga means things have to be bad. No, this is not true. Kali Yuga is just the name of a time frame. Just this is the year 2020. If somebody says there is some book which has mentioned that 2020 year will be a horrible year, we don't accept that, is it not? That nobody can say that. You know, time is time. It is always it's a wonderful parameter which always moves forward, and this is human life is dynamic. We can we have a lot of freedom. We can turn around, make things better, is it not? We can make our life better. We can make society better. We can make world better, and there is nothing like year 2020 is bad, horrible, and in the same fashion, nobody can say that Kali Yuga is bad, is it not? And at present, I think it is Kali Yuga era. This is an era called Yugabd. If I don't not mistaken, it is 5121. So, and it coincides slightly with the event of Mahabharata. So these are names, and it's not the I don't want to go into details of astronomical time division, which Vedic scientists were very great. They have elaborate mechanism to measure time, right from pul. Pul is when an atomic particle spins and from one direction to another. That moment is called pul. And then they go up to Chaturyugi and then Manvanta and then Brahmdin, which is 4.32 billion years. So, they have a time frame. They were great scientists. So, one Chaturyugi, or called a Mahayugi, which is about 4.32 million years, 1,000th of 4.32 billion years. That is the lifespan of the Earth, so to say. And now we are through about half of it, 2 billion years. So 4.32 billion years was divided into 1,000. That means 4.32 million years. Further, it was divided into four parts, but they are not equal parts. For some reason, that is astronomical reason when all planets in one line and all that. They called Kali Yuga is 1/10 of Chaturyugi, which is 432,000 years. So, for certain events, astronomical events take place every 432,000 years. Then one segment was that, another Dwapar is twice of that, Treta is three times that, Satyuga is four times that. So 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 become 10x. So this is geometric progression. So please don't accept it that Kali Yuga is bad and Satyuga was good, or these are just names. The second similar factors I have mentioned. It is desirable to visit places of natural beauty, but people begin to think that pilgrimages bring salvation or washes away sins. For example, Char Dham Yatra, etc. So this pertains to the space. Space is like the whole earth is wonderful. Of course, within the earth, uh, there are certain places, like we are in a city now, but if we go to natural beauty, we see the nature and then it affects our mind, etc. So in Yajurveda, there is a mantra, Upavaya Girinam Sangamecha Nadinam Dhiya Vipyo Ajayata. Very good. What it's saying is, in the valleys of the mountains, Upavaya Girina, Sangamecha Nadinam, and in the confluence of rivers. These are some wonderful spots where you are amazed by the natural beauty, is it not? So whenever you are there, what it says is Dhiya Vipyo Jayata. Your intellect becomes pure, purified, is it not? So at such places, there is a beautiful glory of the nature that you cannot think of bad. You don't have bad thoughts there, is it not? You get immersed in very positive atmosphere, positivity, not only physically but even mentally. So these are encouraged. But to say that I go to a particular place, say Haridwar, and take a bath in Ganga and my sins will get washed away, that is not. So our culture says, yes, you should go to places of natural beauty and appreciate it. But just going there, going to a particular place doesn't mean that your sins will be washed away. So I have chosen two factors today. One is related to time and one is related to space. All times are good, all spaces are good, we have to make good use of it. But it's not that space or time by itself is something either terrible or either good. Or so when it comes to space and time, you have to see your own convenience. So like you want to do your daughter's wedding, you select the place, you select the time which is convenient, where most of the people can come, and all those practical aspects you know so